Well, the next 3 days in charge of Sporting Lisbon are probably going to determine our success this year. We've got Benfica away to come in the league as they have predictably regained top spot. We're starting to fall away at the crucial time, and the only way we can leapfrog them is probably by going and winning at their place. Before that, though, we've got the second leg of the Portuguese Cup semi final. And of all the competitions we're in this year, given the circumstances, that one would be a disaster if we didn't win it from here. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 58 of the Coach's Head with me, Daniel. We are back today with Sporting Lisbon for two huge away matches. And actually, we're going to be showing the next four in a row over the next two videos because Braga and Porto follow these two. And that is the top four going head to head over the next 2 weeks. And the big ones are all away from home, albeit Porto have really fallen away. So if you're looking forward to all of that, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. A quick reminder as well that FM25 has now been announced. You can pre-order the game from the link in the description and get an extra 5% off by using my code of Fanatical. It's load FM25. For now though, we are going to crack on with FM24 and with Sporting Lisbon as we come towards the conclusion of what's been a pretty thrilling season. We've competed better than I thought we would, but now we're starting to pick up injuries, we're starting to have frustrations, and we've had a couple of really annoying days. Firstly, since you were last with me, I talked about that unbeaten run over 90 minutes from August. Well, the very next game we lost it. 2-0 up and comfortable against Boa Vista, who we beat by 7 earlier in the year. You saw that on camera. But then it all went wrong because Abdurrahman Racing got sent off. This was a day after an offer had been accepted for him to go to China. He actually later refused that offer. I kind of wanted him to go after that match. And in the second half, we just fell away with 10 men. It was really poor. Robert Berzinic, a player we've managed on this channel before, a bit of a legend. He's declining physically. He scored the goal that set them off, and we ended up losing 3-2. We did bounce back against Casapia with a Gabriel Silva brace, an own goal, and Abdul Fatawu, making it 4-1. A 2-0 win at home to Vitoria Guimarães. It was Silva and Continella with late goals in each half. Then a frustrating 0-0 draw away from home at Santa Clara. Another costly one that sent Benfica top. Then a brace for the returning Pedro Mendes and for Gabriel Silva as we won 4-1 in our last outing 6 days ago. We've now got decisions to make because this is the only time we've really got any fixture congestion. Against Moreirense, I'm going to rest a few, but I'm not going to go absolutely mad. Benfica away on Sunday. We've got a week off after, but we need to be in good shape for that one. And as you can see, the left side of our team is already pretty depleted. So let's go and move on to the fixtures as we have still got the same squad in situ with a Raysuit rejecting that move. And let's see how we get on as we go against, hang on a minute, I wanted to see if Forest, yeah, they're still in the Europa Conference League in the quarter-final. And we would have fancied ourselves against AIK, so that's really annoying. We could have gone a long way in that one. As it is, we've got to watch out for Mendonca, who was a goal scorer in the first leg, played really well. And at 3-1 on aggregate, this game is not over. The team selection shows a lot of light match load, so we don't need to go crazy with selection. But Garçal, the promising youngster, got injured as well. We've also got a few other players out. So let me go and adjust this, make a few changes. We'll be back in a minute to run through the team. Okay then, a few players in particular that I wanted to look after, which is why we've made certain adjustments. But otherwise, we've not gone mad in this one. We've still got a very strong team out. You can see in goal, we've gone with the first choice, Alemdar, and the same in the back four. Volken is the best of the fit left backs. Asnu drops to the bench from the last league game. Volken and Abdurrahman the two with Doyle and Laskowski in the middle. Continella replaces Telehovsky, who, from a general open play point of view, is so important to us. So Continella and Redondo will play in midfield, and then the fittest one can start again at the weekend. And out wide, I've moved Silva to the right. That's because Fatawu and Mendes had medium match loads and I wanted to rest them. Although, having said that, I think it's actually better we rest Silva than Mendes because he probably won't start at the weekend. So I'm going to play Mendes and Otavio out wide. He's moved left to allow Osakarias back in, and Hervenhoff gets a game up front. He continues to build back after injury, where he's had a pretty disappointing second half of the year. That's the team. It should be strong enough against second-tier opposition. At 3-1 up on aggregate, I'd be gutted if we threw this away. We've done more strange things this season, so let's hope today we can stay steady, get comfortable, make a few changes later in the match and rest people for Sunday. As Francisco Maria's side is fairly strong, we know the qualities they've got, we know they'll give everything, we saw that in the away leg for them. But we've got to avoid a problem here because we are playing top tier opposition in the final if we get there. Despite the 2-0 first leg defeat for Oliver Enze, they did come back and they won by 4-1 in a second. So we know it's going to be a tougher test in the final. But let's be honest, if you're not playing against Braga, Porto or Benfica, you should be winning a competition. As we've nicked the ball here with Zacharias, who tries to play a ridiculously overcomplicated ball in his own third. But he does recover and win the ball back for Hervenhoff, who bizarrely just punts it downfield. Not really much composure or quality on the ball there. Casero gets it on the left-hand side though. Laskowski in with a challenge and it falls for Redondo. And now he can break away, but the pass is poor. It's all looking a little disjointed at the minute. Passes going astray just behind people. And it's not like we've made 11 changes. We've got basically the 6 of the 11 that would start. And then maybe 5 that would come on as subs normally. As Vulcan gets down the left here. Cross into the back post. Hervenhoff's up. He's lost it, but Mendes is there. Cuts it back to Zacharias. Lovely turn. And that should be job done for this cup tie. 4 minutes in is another goal contribution for Mendes. His rating and stats for assists and goals are brilliant. I've got to have a look at them for this season. He is on his 34th appearance, his 20th start, and that is his 23rd goal contribution. 14 of them, to be fair, were in the league, so it's not like he's only turned up in these cup ties. But he's done so here when it matters for us, as Laskowski finds Doyle. Can we keep this very comfortable tonight? That's what we want. Zacharias to Redondo. Can anyone push their way into the team for the weekend? As Vulcan works down the left-hand side, he may have to play at the weekend still. Gets to the byline here. Gets the cross into the back post. Mendes is up. I was almost going to say make that 24 goal contributions. Just misses out. It's over the bar and it stays 1-0. 15 gone though. It's been a very comfortable start. Well, it's all gone a little bit quiet in the rest of the first half, which I'm not going to complain about. It's perfectly comfortable for us. We stay 1-0 up, but there are no further highlights. Not really much of a threat on our goal either, so we've got to be positive. I want to get through another 15 minutes, just keep it at this score or better, and then we can maybe think about changes. But we saw that affected the game negatively last time, so I do want to be careful. We can maybe then take off one of the holding mids, give Vulcan a rest. Otavio, someone we've got to look at as well. And then it's about big decisions. So we've made it just past the hour. There's no threat that we're going out here. So let's look at what we can do. We're going to go erasing off for Volleson. Asnu on for Vulcan. Then I think it's going to be Redondo who gets the rest. Probably the experience of Braganca. And then moving forward, Otavio can come off for Vasco Souza. And who else can we bring on? I don't really want to bring on any of those big three. So maybe Continella pushes up to number 10. Can he do that? I mean, he can. It's whether he can do it well. Can either of the strikers play as a 10? Agard, it's saying can. So I might give him a little run out because he's barely gone on the pitch this year. And I'll take off Pedro Mendes just in case. He's still building his fitness. We don't want injuries. Zacharias will move right. 25 minutes to go. We've been really comfortable. And hopefully that stays the same. I'll take a boring finish here. Well, a boring finish is exactly what we've got because we go into just 2 minutes of stoppage time. There's barely been a highlight in this game, but we started quickly, we got the goal, and then we did a professional job. A really good win, a really good performance, okay against weaker opposition. But now we've got a Portuguese Cup final, and this one won't be against Benfica. We've really not got an excuse not to win it. That will feature at the end of the season, I presume. We'll have a look at when that's scheduled now. It's got to be near the end, surely. Oliver Enze in the final. Yes, I think it's the last game. So that will be the final episode of this season, Estoril and Oliver Enze. But the question is, will that final league game be crucial in the title race? For it to be so, we've probably got to avoid defeat in the last game of this episode and then pick up 6 points in the next one. Let's get ahead to the Benfica game, see if we can do the first part. It's not going to be an easy test. Benfica, they haven't been in action in midweek. They've had 8 days off. As you can see, they've only lost to Inter Milan in the last 2.5 months. They're a pretty good side. Well, 3 days and one background calendar change later, we are back for the big, possibly title decider. I wouldn't bank against us dropping points even if we won this one. But we are playing Benfica, a side who we shocked at home earlier in the season. If you remember that game, we came back and won 3-2 from a goal behind. We also had our heart broken by them in a League Cup final just in the last episode. What's going to happen at this time? Anything other than a win, and Benfica's destiny is in their own hands. And to be fair, with Braga and Porto coming up next, we've got a rotten finish. Who have Benfica got? They've got all mid-table teams and teams in the bottom half. They're not playing any of the big boys. So it's very clear that we're second favourites here, but a win and we're top of the table. We give ourselves a chance. Are we able to pull it off? Let's have a look as we go ahead to the biggest game of our season in the league. We know some of the quality they got. We saw it last episode. Ribeiro, João Neves, etc. None of those teenagers in the team today without the restrictions for the League Cup. We're going to go back to full strength. Going to bring in those first teamers. So we're going to go for Gabriel Silva up front, Telehovsky alongside Redondo in midfield. Going to keep Volkin in at left back. He did okay in that game. And then the only other decision is what we do with the attacking midfield positions. Fatawu, for me, will return in place of Mendes. And I think I'm going to stick with Zacharias and Otavio. There is a temptation to bring others in, but I'm not going to. We're just going to strengthen the bench, make it a little bit more balanced if we can. And hopefully, there we go. I think we're as strong as we can be. This is our team for today then. The changes from Thursday night. Fatawu in on the right-hand side. Gabriel Silva in up front. And Telehovsky in holding midfield. The three that drop out are Pedro Mendes to the bench. Continella and Hervenhov have also dropped out, but both available as substitutes if we need them. Through to the game we go, possibly a title decider. But from my point of view, if we're to have any chance, we have to beat them and go top today. Because even though I know we see some bizarre results at the end of an FM season, I can't see Benfica dropping many points from the fixtures they've got after us. Let's go and get through to it and see if we can make a dent. Well, Roger Schmidt has got his side ready for this one. There's experience on the bench in Filippo Mane and Julian Alvarez, etc. The goalkeeper who was the hero in the penalty shootout is on the bench for this one too. So Benfica are a lot stronger than last time we played them. Let's see how we go though. We're going to tell the boys to carry on where they left off. Put in that performance you did against second tier opposition and you'll be fine against the best side in the country. They've only won the league 5 times in a row. You don't need to be concerned. We're 5 minutes in. It's been a quiet one so far. We've got to win, and that is a tough ask for this game. Benfica are a magnificent side. As Belanova gets the ball to Jose Carlos Ribeiro in, cleared away pretty well. I did toy with the idea of dropping back to balance, but I'm not sure defensively we're good enough. Having watched the first 8 minutes, though, I'm going to do exactly that. Try and play a little bit more on the counter. I know we may lose some opportunities, but the space in behind for Silva, Fatawu, could be ideal for us. We're 15 minutes in. And it's all Benfica as a near post header's flicked over. The one thing I really don't want today, we could get outdone by Magic and Class in their team. I do not want to be conceding set pieces. Would be nice to see us have one attack as well. But with half an hour gone, despite having all the shots on target, we've seen nothing of our team in this game. Another corner in, which is headed away. It's out as far as Rego on the left-hand side, who gives it to Solbakken. And Rego's gone again. He's been completely vacated by his man. Who on earth was marking him? There's someone who was marking him out on the right here. And he just walked past them. Just drifted into the box. The player didn't follow him. And he puts it in at the near post past a hapless goalkeeper. 1-0. And it's Benfica's first shot on target. It's not been a high quality game. But unfortunately, I think we're going to have to go back aggressive to try and get something out of this. And it does open the door to us losing more goals. And Solbakken has got it in the midfield area. Plays wide to Makino. We've really got to get to half-time at 1-0 if we can. 2 and it's probably over. Solbakken into midfield for Neves. He's got space to find Kenan. Through ball towards Rego. Into the box to Ribeiro. It's a good save. And the offside flag does go up. But we've got the feeling of holding on since the goal. It's been my one criticism of this team this season. When we go a goal down, we quite often just fold a little bit. We saw from Braga at 3-0 up. We saw that Boa Vista game recently. Really isn't good enough when we concede. We're going to go into the second half. We'll give it 10 more before throwing a kitchen sink. But Benfica, if anything, have become the better side since scoring. And that is a concern. If we lose this one, there's no way with the fixtures we've both got left that we make up a 5-point difference. Second would be a great outcome this year, but when you get this close, you feel like it is your opportunity, especially against a side this good. as our long ball forward is aimless, though Redondo recycles it for Otavio. And now Zakarias, who finds Dinis Telehovsky. He carries it over halfway. I think Silva's offside. And I can kind of guess that from the finish. The assistance flag has not gone up, though. The right back was the closest to him. Will VAR save us? Gabriel Silva, goal awarded. The right back did play him on. Gabriel Silva makes no mistake. It's a fabulous finish from him. And with 25 to go, we're level. We're back in it. And we've got a little bit of a chance. We're going to make some changes for the final 20. We're going to go Otavio in the middle, Fatawu to the left, and bring on Pedro Mendes on the right. Federico Redondo is going to come off for Continella in the middle, just to shore up that area. And we can focus on performing out wide. I'm going to bring Asnu on for Volken. Both centre-halves are on the yellow card. But I don't want to bring Gabia on. He's so slow. And Volison's not much better. And when we're coming up against the likes of Ribeiro, we want to be careful. I think I'm going to bring Sousa on for Fatawu as well. Or, no, I'm not. I'm going to bring Hervenhov on for Fatawu. We're going to go Otavio back to the left. Silva number 10. Hervenhov up front. Let's try and hit them on the counter with pace in behind. And let's just try and play for a win that way. Otavio is knackered as well. So the final sub will be him for Sousa. And we're going to throw a little bit of encouragement out. I'm trying so hard not to use the touchline shouts because we're obviously not going to have them next year. But I feel it's an opportunity. As we go into 5 added minutes, I'm going for it. Let's go attacking now. If we're going to lose the title, we might as well lose it in style. But nothing happens either way. It's a 1-1 draw. It's a hard-fought point at Benfica. In normal circumstances, if we hadn't thrown away the Braga and the Boa Vista games, this would have been a brilliant result. As it is, it keeps Benfica 2 points clear. And with them only having the league to focus on now, barring an absolute disaster in their final games, and us managing to get every point against Braga, Porto and the rest, I think unfortunately that's enough to win the Hoster title. But a really good performance, a really good result. And you know what? Overall a good episode. If we finish second and win the cup, we would have taken that. We would have absolutely loved to have had it. We've guaranteed European group stage football by making the Europa League qualifiers. And we've now gone 5 in a row without losing since that Boa Vista game. But ultimately, we took over a side that had only finished in the top 2 once since it won the league in 2020. And we've now got them in the top 2, an outside chance at the title, and very heavy favourites into a Portuguese Cup final. We've got 2 more episodes to go this season, though. The next 2 games will be either the final nail or the hope that kills us in the title race. It is Braga and Porto. The other 2 of the top 4 will come head-to-head with them as we try and secure our second place for sure. And then the final episode of the season, the one after that, will be Estoril on the final day of the league season, where hopefully there will still be a title to play for. And Oliver Enze in the Portuguese Cup final as we look to make it a trophy in our first season at Sporting Lisbon. And if you're looking forward to that and you did enjoy this one, 2 professional and hard-fought performances rather than entertaining ones that we've seen before. And please do put a thumbs up on the video. The drama is going to continue till the end this season. Will our awful cup final record continue? And is there any way Benfica drop the points? Let me know in the comments if you see a route to the title. If you want to stay up to date and find out if there is one, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. You know what we're going to be back for, but in the meantime, you can see tomorrow at the Southend United save. A huge one there as we have got the Carabao Cup final, the one domestic trophy. We have just been cursed within that save. We cannot win it for love nor money. Tomorrow we try and change that. There's also links in the eye above to the Twitch channel for loads of live streams and chat, and also to the football podcast where there's championship predictions every single match day. Come and get involved with all of those. Thank you so much for watching as always. And don't forget, if you're pre-ordering FM25, use my link and code in the description to get plenty of money off from Steam's price. I'll see you next time for the next 2 games here at Sporting Lisbon as we try to push Benfica all the way. Braga and Porto will be tough opposition, but hopefully we can come out on top.